Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is July 2nd, 2024. Today, might be all over the place. We'll see on how much I got to talk about. I mean, I got plenty of stuff to talk about, but might just be a little bit all over the place, so we'll see. It depends on how long I talk, too. I've noticed I've actually gotten better at talking for long periods of time on certain subjects, which was something, if you notice with my older work, I was kind of struggling with here and there. But I don't know. Feel like here lately I've been doing pretty good. So I hope you all are well. So this is recent news. We'll cover some recent news. Get into politics a little bit. I know I've been covering quite a bit of politics here lately. But don't worry. If that turns you off, this whole episode ain't going to be about politics. It's actually going to be about a little bit. We'll get into the Great Reset and shit. And I'll kind of get into what's going on with my life because it impacts my life. Trump got granted immunity by the Supreme Court. So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool, I think. Because I didn't cover the Trump trial just because it seemed very dense. And I was busy covering other shit that seemed honestly more important. I wouldn't say important, but more interesting. I cover what I find interesting. So you'll see with this channel, I talked about it last episode, how I consider myself a jack of all trades and master of none when it comes to conspiracies. I like to talk about it all, honestly. I like conspiracy in general, you know. But for some reason, it seemed like a lot of dense information, and I just didn't have the time to delve into that rabbit hole. Do you guys hear that? These girls next to me just laughing their brains out. I don't know. At least they're in a good mood. But yeah, so I did kind of get the, and you can inform me too in the comment section if you want, if I'm just ignorant or not, but I did kind of catch the drift that it was like a shit show, kangaroo court, charade trial, like 34 charges. And I mean, I think they were grasping at straws from what I understood, that they were grasping at straws and just trying to take him down in general, because I do have to say this, man. There's a lot of people that say Trump is in on it. I was listening last night to Broken Simulation with Sam Tripoli, and they were getting into the debate, and Johnny Woodard put forth the proposition that Trump is in on it, and that he kind of knew the deal, that Joe Biden would get presidency this time, and he could come back for his second term. Almost like they were already in cahoots. And it's like, okay, you got one term, I get the next term, then you get the next term. And that kind of coincides with a conspiracy theory that I had thought up, but mine's a little different. I was talking to my buddy, and we were talking about the debate. His name's Gabe. I'm sure he don't mind me sharing, because you don't know who he is. Gabe, and I'm Abe. I don't know. I think it's funny. And we're both from Florida. It's kind of weird. I find weird synchronicities with coworkers sometimes. Like there's another guy who works here. Um, Out of respect, I won't say his name, but his first name is one of my middle names, and his last name is my first name. So it's really fucking weird. And then we both dated a Sammy Joe, and I'm married to a Sammy Joe. They split up, but the whole thing, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's gotta, this, sometimes it's stuff like that that makes me go, either God has a sense of humor and like really has fun with people, like fucking with them, or we're in a fucking simulation, man. And they just swap names and characters, and I get called Adam all the time. People mistake me for some guy that lives in this local area named Adam. It's really fucking weird. I mean, for years people have been like, Adam? And I'm like, no, it's Abe. And they're like, you're not Adam? You know? And it's gotten to the point where it happens so often. I don't know, Adam, whoever you are that live in Kentucky, near Garrett County and Mercer and Boyle. Whoever you are, if you ever see this, apparently I'm your doppelganger. And it got to the point where people were saying this so much that I look like this dude that I started joking about it, that there's a cloning facility and that I'm a clone. And I've like, and if you guys don't know my sense of humor, it can be very dry, and I'm a very good fucking actor. Like, even my wife has been with me for like 7 years, 8 years now, and she still sometimes is like, are you fucking with me or are you being serious? Because I'll propose the most outlandish or fucked up shit, and it's so dry that she doesn't know if I'm fucking with her. She's obviously, she knows me by now, but sometimes, even still to this day, my acting is so fucking good I can throw a curveball at her. Which is why I tell you, people don't trust anyone, not even me, because I'm a good fucking actor. Anyways, where was I going with that? Trump. Oh, my conspiracy theory was, my coworker was asking, Gabriel was asking, like, he was asking the question that a lot of people have asked, and even I asked myself, of like, why did they pick Joe Biden? Obviously, he is a horrible candidate. He's fucking senile, he's retarded, and Gabriel's a pretty liberal dude. Like, he does not like Trump. I would say he has a touch of TDS. He's warming up a little bit because he knows that I voted for Trump the first term. And I even told him, I was like, look, I'm actually a good middle ground to talk to about Trump. I told him because I voted for him the first term, but I actually have voters' regret because of his stance on the V word, his stance on warp speed, him doing warp speed, telling people to get the injection, banning bump stocks after the Vegas shit, which that whole scenario is fucking shady. Maybe one day we'll dedicate an entire episode to the Vegas shooting. But I told him, I said, dude, honestly, I am like a good person to talk to about Trump, because it's like, I'm neither for or against him. I'm neutral. I believe that he is a chaos magician, and this comes from an occultist. Let me tell you this, dude. I truly believe he is a chaos magician, and I truly believe that he is in alignment with the god Apollo and the god Kek from ancient Egyptology. Go down that rabbit hole and you'll see why. And I truly believe that he does chaos magic because he was a big follower of this famous preacher. I watched a whole video on it because someone delved into, is Trump an actual Christian? And I truly do believe he's a Christian, but not the type of Christian that you think he is. I think he's a chaos magician because the preacher that they went into detail with, I knew the guy. I wish I knew the guy's name, so you guys could go down this rabbit hole. But the preacher that he talks about him all the time, and I think he actually became like his personal preacher growing up. He was teaching basically prosperity message. And if you don't know, prosperity message preaching, like Joel Osteen, we were talking about this, me and coworkers were talking about this last night. I had a coworker say, yeah, Joel Osteen's a piece of shit. And I'm like, yes, I agree with that. He is a piece of garbage. I've covered him on this channel. Go check out a video about, I think I did a whole episode covering Joel Osteen, or at least money being found inside of a wall that was hidden. Some weird shady shit. But I covered that. But prosperity preaching gets very woo-woo. And there's actually, we're going to go deep occultism, because I am an occultist, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. There's a lot of manifestation, which is an occult, let's say, theory. The whole point of witchcraft and the occult is manifesting. This gets into The Secret. The Secret, to me, is a dumbed down... The Secret is actually, a lot of people hate on it, but I would say The Secret to me was a exposing the mass, like initiating the masses into the 33rd degree, but retarding it and dumbing it down for the sheep to consume and understand. Because when you get into Hermeticism, when you get into witchcraft, when you get into Masonry, from my understanding, like when I first started coming across Masonry and actually looking through Masonic text, which I wasn't allowed to look at, but I'm like, oh, this is witchcraft. You know, that's all it is. It's just, it's fucking witchcraft. Which I practice witchcraft, so if you see that as evil, you know, you probably see me as evil, and that's fine, whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've been called evil, and actually I kind of like it. As someone who used to be a horror punk singer, sure, call me evil. It kind of gets my dick hard. But Witchcraft 101, even Wicca, which is like, I don't like Wicca. I think it's okay to start out with Wicca, but eventually grow out of it and get into ceremonial magic and mystery school. If you're, I think it's a good place to start. Start off with the kindergarten level shit. But like, you shouldn't stay a Wiccan for years, in my opinion, unless you would just want to stay dumb when it comes to magic. But like, I have family members who are witches and stuff, and like, I'll talk ceremonial magic, like Aleister Crowley level shit, tulpas, controlling reality, miracles, the pantheons of gods, astrotheology. Like, I talk deep fucking shit, and I'm just losing them. And I'm like, I have to remind myself, oh, they're like Wiccan, you know, which is like kindergarten shit. Um, Trump, I'm gonna find this guy's name out. I'm gonna do a whole episode on it. I need to do that. I need to dedicate a whole episode on it. But prosperity preaching is like basically kind of like The Secret. But it's even dumber than The Secret, because at least with The Secret there's like structures of making vision boards. You have to work. Like, that's one thing with witchcraft. A lot of people think you just cast a spell and it happens. No, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it does work like that. There was multiple times in my life that I casted a spell to get something, and it did happen. But even Wicca will teach you that you have to work also. Like, if I want a new job, I can cast a spell, and what that spell does is it increases my chances to get a new job. It might jump inside someone's head who's doing the job interview and go, hire him, and like almost possess them and force them to see something within me to hire me. But you still have to go out there and job hunt. Like I said, once in a blue moon, it actually, you can cast a spell and it can be so strong and work so good that a job will just fall in your lap. But you still have to do the footwork. And a lot of people don't explain that when you first get into magic. They say, oh my God, magic changed my life. You know, I just cast spells and everything just fits in line perfectly, and everything in my life just goes perfectly because I cast the spell. And it's like, okay, maybe you're just lucky, but I always teach you have to still put in the footwork. And a lot of prosperity preaching doesn't teach that. They teach that, oh, you're sick? Well, we will pray for you, send us money, and it'll get better. You'll be healed, you know. But this preacher, and like I said, it's not a bad thing. I think that Trump fell into the woo-woo aspect of prosperity preaching and controlling your reality. Basic, simple chaos magic. Now, behind closed doors, does he actually know deeper occult knowledge that he knows how to actually do ceremonies and shit? That would be actually pretty fucking cool. I could imagine Trump with his like big belly and a cloak, you know, or imagine Trump butt naked with a wand, like in a pentagram, doing magic. The four corners of the earth, fire, you know, water. I stand looking to the east, you know, at the rising sun. I can't do a very good Trump impression, but that would be a hilarious, funny image of Trump doing actual magic behind closed doors. But I do believe he worships Apollo and Kek. And by worship, I mean the actual definition of worship, because that definition has been changed and Christianized. It means to be in alliance with. I don't know how we got so deep into occultism, but yeah. The Supreme Court granted Trump immunity, so those 34 charges mean nothing. And I consider it a good thing. There's a part of me that still likes Trump. Trump to me is like, I'm like neutral, like I said. I got 50-50 emotions on him. There's a lot of things I don't like about him, but there's a lot of things I do like about him. And at the end of the day, to be completely honest, he is so much more better a candidate to be president than Joe Biden. And I keep covering and rooting for and supporting RFK Jr. on this channel, but I already know, and I've already said this multiple times on this channel, RFK Jr. is not going to win. He's just not. So we need to get over that. I'm still going to vote for him. But, you know, I have to do within my conscience what I feel is the best for this country as an American, and I feel it's RFK Jr. But if it so happens to be Trump, you're not going to see me like that meme of that girl going, ah, no. Or if RFK Jr. doesn't get in, I'm not going to freak out. I'm still going to be like, cool. Better than Joe Biden if Trump gets in. Now, if Joe Biden gets in, we're fucked. We are fucked. Like, I don't know. I kind of give up hope at that point. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna probably become very black-pilled at that point because, like, we're fucked if Joe Biden gets in. If they steal this one like they stole the last one. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting to go that route. But I want to talk a little bit about Trump doing a speech. This is a speech that I seen of Trump talking about banning the homeless, which concerns me a lot. That was one of his plans, I guess, while he was president. And San Diego has just passed a bill or something, from what I heard, that they're like banning homeless people. And it hit kind of close to home because, and this is under Joe Biden, that their homelessness is now a crime in like San Diego. It's happening here in Kentucky, in Lexington, where I live. They passed a bill last year, and I never ended up talking about it, but it's illegal to be homeless, which is terrifying, especially when you're a conspiracy theorist like me, which obviously you are because you're watching this channel. It falls right into the Great Reset, and you will own nothing and be happy. Because a lot of people don't have the luxury of owning their home. And I truly think that this was going to tie in with what they planned with the vaccine mandates. But that never went through the way that they planned because we fought against it. Pat yourself on the back. We fought against it, and they couldn't do exactly what they wanted to do with COVID, in my personal opinion. Because they wanted to mandate vaccines, which would cause people to quit their jobs and or be fired and lose their houses and become homeless. And if you make homelessness illegal, where do they get shoved off to? Camps, jail, mental institutions. If you're asking me, it's all three of those options are kind of the same thing. And this falls into the Great Reset of like, you will abide by our laws as far as you will own nothing and like it. You will rent from us and you will obey every rule that we make so you can keep your little pod. If we say you got to get a injection once a month, you have to get an injection once a month. If not, we kick you out. But you can't be homeless because that's illegal now. So we'll just shove you in a camp. And it just blows my mind that people are like applauding this when Trump says it. And go look it up. Trump talking about banning homelessness and making it illegal to be homeless. People applaud it because they're like, in their mind, they're like, oh, he's cleaning up the streets. And it's like, I don't think you understand the implications, the deeper part of this. And honestly, maybe Trump doesn't understand the Great Reset as much as we think he does. I mean, there is videos of him going to World Economic Forum meetings and hugging Klaus Schwab and shaking Klaus Schwab's hand, and go look that shit up too. All buddy with Klaus Schwab. And it's like, that's not fucking cool. And the QAnon people will say, well, that's part of the plan. You see, he has to be buddy-buddy with the enemy to get closer to him, to infiltrate. And Trump's a double agent. He's 007, and he's secretly... he's under Q's control, which is the highest level of military intelligence, and he's actually a secret agent saving children, and that's fucking retarded. So it just cracks me up when you hear all these people like, oh, so-and-so's tied to the World Economic Forum, so-and-so's tied to the World Economic Forum, so is Trump. Go look up the video of Trump and Klaus Schwab, how buddy-buddy they are. Speak of the devil, Klaus Schwab is stepping down. I don't think I covered this on this channel. Like I said, this episode's going to be all over the place, but I think we're going deep and we're talking about a lot of shit that I've been wanting to cover and talk about. Klaus Schwab has been sick lately. A lot of people don't know that. And he's stepping down, and this is what I've heard, is that his wife is taking over. First of all, that dude's married. Imagine, because like I said, this channel was slightly inspired by Howard Stern, so we get a little raunchy and gross here, but imagine being married to Klaus Schwab. Like, for one, he's a fat, bald, he literally looks like Dr. Evil mixed with, what's that Scottish fat guy in Austin Powers? He's like a fat Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. He literally looks like a cliche James Bond villain, and he dresses like Darth Vader. But imagine his body like heaving and sweating and humping you, like laying on top of you at night, like, oh yes, you are nothing and like it. Oh yes, you like that. Oh yeah. And I'm not homophobic or anything. I'm actually pretty confident in my sexuality, but even if I was gay, I would be gay for someone like Johnny Depp or fucking Prince or something, or fucking David Bowie when he was alive. Like, imagine letting Klaus Schwab have sex with you. But yeah, as amazing as that's a conspiracy within itself. How the fuck is he actually married? Maybe it was like a prearranged forced marriage. Maybe like the Illuminati forced certain people together. Because I can't imagine someone actually falling in love with Klaus Schwab. Like, oh my God, you have a brilliant mind. And I'm going to have to get in here and Google image Klaus Schwab's wife, because I am curious what she looks like. What if she's like a super smoking hot, like German, blonde, like Nordic looking chick, like blonde hair, blue eyes, just smoking hot 20-year-old or something. That'll make it even so much more worse, and she has to sleep with this pig. But yeah, Klaus Schwab was sick and he's stepping down. He's getting pretty old, and his wife is going to take over. Now, here's my theory. This can go one of two ways. Either she's like literally got Stockholm syndrome and brainwashed to the point where she will keep this great reset going, and the 2030 plan and the 2050, what's the next one, 2050 or 2040? I think it's 2050. She can either keep this going, let me check the time, or she might wake up and be like, oh great, this fat piece of shit is dying and stepping down. I'm gonna step in, take over, and end the New World Order, or at least halt their plans, because I don't think she could end it, but she could fuck shit up on the inside. And let's hope for that, dude. Let's honestly hope that she's almost like a double agent, and that maybe she married him to take one for the team, like a honeypot. Let's hope that she's a good girl, and like a double agent, like a red canary, like a honeypot, that maybe once she gets in, she starts fucking their plans up, or halting their plans, or at least slowing it down. Something to help us, who obviously are not members of the World Economic Forum. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm ignorant when it comes to Klaus Schwab's wife. I need to look into her. Maybe we'll do a whole episode dedicated on who she is. Is she evil? Is she part of the cabal? Or is she one of us secretly? I don't know. Hit me up in the comments if you know anything about her. And let me know in the comments in general what you think about Klaus Schwab stepping down. Is this a win for us? Is this a lose for us? Because I remember back when Chris Cuomo's brother, Andrew Cuomo, stepped down from being mayor of New York, and everyone was like, was he mayor or governor? I can't remember. But anyways, he stepped down and everyone was freaking out going, yay, this is a win for us. And I'm like, it's a small win, but I'm like, let's see who he gets replaced with. Turns out he got replaced with like just as much of, if not more, a tyrant, just like him. So who the fuck knows, dude? I just sit here and cover and speculate on what's going on. And we covered a lot today. We covered Trump's immunity, the banning of homeless, how it ties in with the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset, and Klaus Schwab stepping down. I have no idea what I'm going to name this episode. I'm going to name it something that I think will get the most hits and views. So we covered 3 subjects today. I think that's pretty fucking good. A compilation, you know. Hope y'all enjoyed. YouTube is fucking with me again. I tried to upload both episodes yesterday because I put out 2 episodes yesterday. Hopefully they both came out. Please watch the last episode as quickly as possible because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a strike for it. And hope you enjoy. I love you all. Go check me out on Rumble. Conspiracy Corner Podcast. Profile pictures of White Rabbit. And check me out on Spotify. Y'all have a blessed day. Be careful.